Good afternoon, you're watching SA Today and we bring you special coverage from the Results Operations Centre here in Pretoria and Tshwane. And this is where for the next 3, 4, 5, even 6 days, a lot of activity will be playing out, particularly from the floor behind me where you have IEC officials busy managing the elections process, coordinating with their offices around the country, preparing for the biggest voting day, which will be taking place on Wednesday. But as you may have heard and you may have been seeing, today and tomorrow are special voting days for people who won't be at their voting area on Wednesday, or perhaps are infirm and can't get out to a voting station. And that's been taking place, and we've been checking in with a number of reporters across the country to give us a sense of how those days are going and perhaps some of the anticipation that people have about Wednesday's elections. Let's go now to the Western Cape and in particular Grabo, and we'll find there Mariska Botha. Mariska, tell us a little bit about Grabo and what it means in terms of the type of voter that will be turning out today, tomorrow and Wednesday.
Hi, good evening to you. Yes, we are indeed in Grabo, and I'm just stepping out for a moment so that you can see the beautiful Elgin Valley. The valley encompasses a lot of small towns, but the main one in the area is, of course, Grabo. Now, Grabo is very, very well known for one thing, and that is apples. It's one of the largest apple-producing areas within South Africa. And then, of course, it may be needless to say, it also employs a lot of farm workers. So those are the kinds of people, or the groups of people that we are expecting to go out in their numbers to vote on Wednesday. A lot of farm workers in this area in particular. A week or so ago, we visited one of these farms where we spoke particularly to women working on farms. And we also spoke to the NGO called Women on Farms, who specifically address the issues and needs of women on farms. And they're telling us that a lot of these women don't really know or have any faith in any political party in particular, because they say none of the manifestos that they've investigated, they could find any information that speaks directly to, first of all, farm workers, and then secondly, to women working on farms. So that's the area that we're coming to you from, Grabo, and this is the area we'll be watching closely for you. There's over 200,000 people that live in the Overberg district, which Grabo falls under, and in this particular area, in the Theewaterskloof municipality, which Grabo falls in, underneath that is over 50,000 people that are registered to vote. So this is one of the bigger areas we'll be covering on election day in particular, and in the run-up as we're doing now. So it is a busy area, but a lot of the people that live and work here are farm workers.
So speaking about farm workers, today certainly wasn't without incident. I believe that there was a farm strike somewhere.
Absolutely, you're exactly correct. There was a farm strike, or there is a strike going on at a farm as we're speaking. It's workers from one of those apple farms that I told you about a little bit earlier. It's maybe around 50 to 80 people that are on strike at the moment, and they're striking for better working conditions. A lot of those people are seasonal workers, as many of the farms across the country do when it's harvest season, particularly when you're talking about fruits, and in this instance apples. You'll get seasonal workers when it's harvest time, like it is right now. So a large group of those people are seasonal workers, but they are saying they've been coming to this particular farm for the last 10 to 15 years, and they feel that means that they should be employed permanently. They're also complaining about the living conditions on the farm, and they say they want a better wage. But we also heard from farm management saying that there's around 230 people that are employed permanently, and they take in just over 400 people as seasonal workers during the year, and they cannot employ everybody, unfortunately, permanently. And they are also saying that they are addressing the issue in terms of accommodation. But these farm workers, you would think because of the issues that they have, they might want to not go and vote, but it was exactly the opposite. They are telling us that they are definitely going to vote, and they are definitely voting for a specific party, because they're saying they're wary of all politicians and the promises that are made. As I mentioned mentioned a little bit earlier, women on farm, saying that women feel that there's nobody in particular that speaks to them and their needs. And certainly that's what we heard from these farm workers as well today, although they are saying that they are throwing their weight behind a specific party, and they will definitely go out and vote, as they told us earlier today.
Okay, Mariska, we're going to check again with you a little bit later on, just after the window closes for today's voting on special votes. That's Mariska Poonah and Grabo in the Western Cape. Let's go back to Johannesburg now, just before we get to the top of the hour.